Hi everyone, this is Mainely Watches, and I'm Nick. I've got a banger of an episode for you guys today. We're going to be looking at 10 different brands of rubber dive watch straps. Now, first off, let me explain, these are all my own straps. I've purchased them all with my own money. This video is not sponsored. I have not been compensated to do this. I have not been in contact with any of the manufacturers about this. So this is purely off the cuff, my own unbiased opinions of these 10 different brands of straps. Now, the brands that we're going to be looking at today, we've got, and I'm not going in any particular order, we've got Isofrane, we've got DiveCore, we've got Hirsch, we've got Anchor, we have Artem, we have Montreux, Delugs, CrafterBlue, Tropic, and StrapHabbit. Now, this represents a wide variety of price ranges. These straps are priced from $40 up to $250, so a big spread in prices. These are all rubber straps. They're all marketed for dive watches. Average price on these, when I just balance out the price, it's coming in at around $100. Now that's a little skewed because of the price of the Artem strap, but we're talking $80 to $100 range as the average price. Now as I go through the review, I'm going to try to be as objective as I can, but that's kind of difficult with a strap because straps are personal choices and they're all going to fit different. I have tried to pair these straps as best I can to the most applicable type of watch case. And I'll explain that a little further as we get into it. Maybe some of the colors are not the most coordinated, but I think I've tried to put the most appropriate strap on the most appropriate watch case. But again, these are all rubber dive straps. There are various types of rubbers involved. We have FKM rubber, we have vulcanized rubber, we have Isofrane, and lastly we have natural rubber, caoutchouc straps. So there's 4 different varieties of rubber straps in this Showdown. So I hope you're going to stick around with me. I'm not really sure how to put chapters in this. I will try my best to see if I can do it. I've never done this before in a YouTube video. I'm also recording today with a brand new microphone, so I hope you will see an improvement in sound quality. I've been struggling with different type of external mics, and hopefully now I've found a good quality one. And I also want to say a big thank you because today, as I'm recording this, my channel has hit 500 subscribers, and I'm absolutely thrilled about that. And I really want to thank everybody who has taken their time to watch my channel and subscribe and been kind enough to comment. And your comments are what really motivate me to keep producing more videos. So I hope you guys will enjoy this, and we're going to flip the camera around now and take a look at these 10 rubber dive straps. These are the straps. So let me just run through them really quick in order from left to right. We have, first up is the Isofrane strap in black. Now these are all 20mm straps. I've tried to keep the comparison on the same size. You'll see these are all dive watches. My criteria was that the watch needed to have a minimum of 200 meters water resistance. So none of these are really dress watches. They're all classified as divers. So we have the Isofrane strap here on the Seiko. On this Proxima watch, I have a strap from Delugs. This is the Delugs Sailcloth. On this Synchron Military, I have a StrapHabbit Sailcloth strap. On this Synchron Poseidon, I have the DiveCore strap. On this Sanjin Instruments, I have a Hirsch Arne Sailcloth strap, which is rubber. On this Doxa Sub 300, I have a Montreux FKM Rubber strap. On this Tissel, I have a green strap from CrafterBlue. Now this is a fitted strap, so you'll notice I can't really lay it flat. On this Doxa sub, I have the Anchorflex strap in FKM Rubber. On this San Martin, I have a yellow Tropic strap. That's the original Tropic. And then lastly, on this watch here, I have the Artem Hydroflex, their classic Hydroflex strap. So we're going to take a look at these one by one. I'm going to try to be as objective as possible, but I fully realize that it's a little difficult with straps because a lot of it is very subjective, how they feel, how they fit on your wrist. I have a wide variety of watch weights here. I've got some fairly heavy watch cases with these two Synchrons and this orange watch, OWC. I guess also the Seiko I would classify as being moderately heavy. And then I have some sort of mid-weight watches, being the Proxima, the Sanjin, I would say is a lightweight watch. This is a quartz. The San Martin is also relatively lightweight, as is the Tissel sub. So we've got a wide variety here, ranging from lightweight to heavyweight watches. And as I said, I tried to pair these straps up as best I could with the type of watch that it most suits. Obviously, some really thin, lightweight straps are not going to work well on a heavy watch, and likewise, a heavy rubber strap like this Isofrane wouldn't work very well on a lightweight watch like the Sanjin, for example. So let me just start out here. We're going to go in no particular order. I'm just going to start picking and choosing here, and we'll take a look. Like I said, I will try to chapterize this so you guys can see how this, if you want to jump to them, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. I've not had any success with YouTube doing it automatically for me. As I said, these straps were all purchased with my own money, so this is a completely unbiased review here. These are all my own straps. I don't always wear some of these on certain watches. I do tend to mix and match and rotate straps around a lot, but you know, some of them are sort of core straps. So I want to start out with a relatively new strap in my collection, and that is this Anchorflex Heritage. Now this strap is from Anchor Straps, which is a US-based brand. These straps are FKM Rubber. They retail for around $70 US, and they have nice lengths. They have a standard and short lengths. I think their standard is 75 and 125 millimeter, and then they have a short length, which are 75 and 105. They have a variety of colors, and I think right now on their website they're only showing two widths available, 20 and 22 millimeters. This particular 20 millimeter strap tapers to 18 at the buckle, and you can see it's a very soft, pliable rubber. This is pure FKM. I actually got this specifically for this Doxa because the color blues just match perfectly. And I'm very impressed with this strap. They have quick release spring bars here. And I have to say the quality of the spring bars that Anchor is using are very good. Now this is a $70 strap, so it's not inexpensive, but I'm quite impressed with the quality of their spring bars. So much so I have not been tempted to remove the spring bars. The hardware, very nice buckle. It's drilled so you can change the pin, change it out easily. And what I really like with Anchor is their attention to detail. I like how they have flared it out here up at the lugs, and it's just a beautiful strap. This is a Tropic style strap, obviously, and we'll compare it to the original Tropic, of course, but it's an absolutely beautiful strap and very soft and supple. What I really like, it has some elasticity to it, So it's not as hard as a vulcanized rubber strap. So if I pull on it, you can see that elasticity, which is really nice. And this is really the most elastic rubber strap I have, and I've been very impressed with the wearing comfort of it. If I have one complaint about it, is that the keepers are a little bit bulky, and you can see when the strap is put up here, when I slide it in through the keepers, it's a little bit thick. And if we measure these keepers, it's probably going to be around 10 millimeters. Yeah, 10.75. So they're a little bit thick compared to the straps, but you know, it wears beautifully. It's a very nice buckle, very smooth edges. I like the little signed Anchor logo on here. So yeah, I really am very impressed with this Anchor Heritage strap. They call it the Anchorflex Heritage. So very nice strap from Anchor. This is my first strap from Anchor, and it will not be my last. I can definitely see some more of these in the future. Very comfortable strap on the wrist. So next up, let's take a look at what is probably the gold standard. This is the Artem Hydroflex. Now, this is the most expensive strap by far. This strap is coming in at $249, $250. Artem is an Australian company, so I thought it was somewhat appropriate to put it on an Australian-built watch. This is from an Australian micro brand, which you've probably never heard of, who make some of the best watches. I don't think, sadly, they're making them anymore, but tremendous build quality watch, and I thought it was just appropriate to put an Artem strap on here. This is a very heavy watch, and it has quite a long wingspan. Now, the Artem Hydroflex strap, this classic strap, tend to run a little bit short. The length on this is 75 on the short end and 115 millimeters on the long end. So they don't really fit wrists over 7 3/4 of an inch. My decision to put this on a long wingspan watch, because my wrist size is 7.5 inches, was so I have an adequate length of strap on it. Now, these Hydroflex straps are pure FKM rubber. They have a variety of sizes from Artem. You know, this is a 20 and it tapers down to 18, but I believe Artem offers these in 18, 19, 21, 22, a lot of different sizes. These Artem straps, they're Hydroflex, do come with quick release spring bars. And I can say the Artem spring bars are very high quality. The reason I have removed them on this watch is because it has screw-in lug bars. These are 2 millimeter diameter lug bars, so they're pretty chunky, but I had no issues removing the standard Artem quick release bars and sliding these in. And I do believe you could probably even get a 2.5 millimeter Seiko Fat Boy in here, but these are 2 millimeter bars and no problems. These Artem Hydroflex straps are wonderful because they have a degree of rigidity to them, which really helps with heavier watches. And I'll just fasten this up here. You can see the buckle on here is beautiful quality. I like how the pin actually sits flush into the buckle, and they're just beautiful buckles. And you can see that profile, how it wears. These are nice straps. These are, of course, not inexpensive. They're very pricey, but I would have to say you are definitely getting a quality strap. And you know, if your budget is really not a concern, you cannot go wrong with these Artem Hydroflex straps. This is not a new strap. This is quite an old strap, and it's had quite a bit of wear, and I mean, it's held up beautifully. As I said, this is FKM rubber, And the retail price on these is around $249, $250, let's say. So definitely not the cheapest, but very good strap for medium to heavyweight watches. I have tried this on a lighter weight watch, and it's a little bit too rigid on the lighter watches. You can see there is some material memory. You can see how this strap has a little bit of curve to it from me wearing it on the wrist, and that is just memory from the rubber, whatever type of rubber compound they're using. FKM is a fluorocarbon, so it's a synthetic rubber, and it has some memory, but that's, I mean, it's ideal for a heavy watch because it does keep it planted very well on your wrist. So yeah, beautifully made straps from Artem, high quality. You have no issues worrying about the spring bars on these. They're very solid, well-made spring bars. And you know, I've got quite a few other Artem straps, and for those watches that just use conventional spring bars, I've had no issues leaving them on. So very good, good quality there, no issues. Next up, let's take a look at this one, Delugs. This is a brand out of Singapore, Delugs. They have made quite a reputation for themselves over the years. I think they started out producing leather straps, and they have just recently developed this sailcloth strap. These are pure FKM rubber, so it is fully rubber on the back and the front. You can see this strap as well has a little bit of memory to it. It's already shaped from me wearing it. These are nice straps. Retail price on this is $110. Now, their sizing is a little limited. I believe they have straps from 17 to 22 millimeters, but all of the straps, the 17 to 21s, all taper down to 16. And I believe only their 22 millimeter strap has a taper to 18. Now, I have had to change out the buckle on this, to be honest. The standard buckle that came with this strap, I was not really happy with it. I don't have it here in front of me, unfortunately. I should have pulled it out, but it was not a good buckle, in my opinion. I put one of these Fitwell buckles on here, and these are actually sold by Delugs, and it's size adjustable buckle. It's a very clever design. You can actually pull the buckle, oops, my hand slipped, and it extends 3 millimeters. You can see how it's moved. So it's just got a little spring-loaded clip here, and if I want to push it back, just give it a little push and it's back. So it gives you 3 millimeters adjustment, which is really nice because it allows you to cater for your wrist swelling during the day. These Delugs straps, I find them to be a little on the thin side. I believe it's only around 4, it starts at around 4.5 millimeters and tapers down to 2. So it's a very thin strap. It's, as you can see, it's extremely flexible, but it does not work well on a very heavy dive watch. I've tried it on some of my heavier watches, and it didn't really work too well. Plus, with that taper from 20 down to 16, again, it's more suited to a smaller dive watch. This is a relatively thin, lightweight watch, but it's a very elegant looking strap, and very impressed with the quality. The stitching, if you can see it here, it's all first rate. Very nice. Everything is straight. Everything lines up. If we look at the back, you can see the stitching here. Try to get the camera to focus. There you go. Beautiful stitching. The spring bars, it came with integrated quick release spring bars. They seem to be very good. I have not replaced them. As you guys may know from watching my previous videos, I do tend to be a bit of a spring bar snob, and I hate cheap spring bars. For me, nothing ruins a watch more than cheap spring bars which give the watch a janky feel. And you can see this, it's nice and tight. So they're good quality spring bars that Delugs is using, and I've had no issues and no concerns to keep the standard quick release bars in there. You can see it's a little stretched on the holes here from me wearing it, but in general this strap is holding up well. And of course it's fully waterproof and very nice straps, well made. And I think for lighter weight watches, perfect straps. Moving on, let's take a look at the Montreux FKM Rubber strap. Now these are sold by Montreux, which is a US-based company. They sell them both on their website and Amazon. I think I've picked these up on Amazon. Typically they go for about $45, although you can sometimes get them on sale for less. These are very, very thin straps, and they are pure FKM, very soft and supple. You can see there is no memory recall on this, or very little memory. And this is not a new strap. It's seen quite a bit of use. Very nice buckle, all smooth, very nicely finished. Has a drilled pin, so you can remove it easily. Here it's signed with Montreux. Spring bars are good. I've left this one on. There is no jangle, and it fits the short lug span on the Doxa just fine. If I put the strap together here, I'll let you see how very soft and pliable this thing is. These wear very comfortably. Look how thin that is. Very thin. And for me, this is an ideal watch for this. It's not the Doxa Sub's not a particularly heavy watch, but it needs a thinner sort of dive strap. So either a Tropic strap or something like this works really well, or that that Anchorflex that I showed you before. So yeah, the Montreux, they have two sizes available on these. I believe they're offered in 20 and 22 millimeters. They have quite a variety of colors, and only one size of lengths. That's 75 millimeters on the short end, and I believe 125 on the long end. But very nice, soft, pliable rubber. Very good quality straps, and I think for the money these are a good deal. They don't have all the bells and whistles. They're not particularly ventilated on the back, so they can get a little hot and sticky. There is some elasticity here to the rubber, if you can see that. Not a whole lot, but they give you lots of adjustment holes, so it's very easy to get a comfortable fit on your wrist. And overall, I'm quite impressed with these. I own quite a few of these Montreux straps that I've bought. And yeah, I like them. For, lighter weight watches, you can't really go wrong with them. Like I said, this is all pure FKM rubber, so there's no silicone in here. And $45, not a bad deal at all. Good, nice strap. Let's look at what is probably one of the kings in the dive strap industry, certainly one with the longest reputation, and that is the classic Tropic strap. This is the genuine Tropic strap. You can see there's the sign T on the buckle, so this is a genuine Tropic strap. Interestingly enough, this strap came as standard on this Synchron watch. So this strap actually belongs to the Synchron. I do not wear this on the Synchron because the Synchron is a little bit too heavy, and I find it tends to overwhelm this Tropic strap. Now, the Tropic straps, they are available in sizes 20 and 22 millimeters. These are 100% vulcanized rubber. Now, vulcanization is a heat treating process, and I believe they're also using sulfur or something in there. As you can see, there is no memory recall here at all. And this is not a new strap. I have worn this strap, but you can see it's still perfectly flat. So there's no memory to it. The length on these, they wear a little bit longer. So you've got 125 and you've got 85. So it's a little bit longer than most straps. That does give you that tendency to have a bit of tail overhanging. So when you wear these, you will have that characteristic tail sticking out at the side. And that's part of the charm with the Tropic straps. This Tropic, the only complaint I have with Tropic is I don't like how they have finished the ends of the straps. They're nice when they're flat, so you can see when the watch fits flat, it looks good. But when it's actually on your wrist, you end up with a pronounced knuckle, the way they've done the lugs. And I've always found that a little curious with Tropic. I'm not sure why they've done that. You can see, though, the tail slips very nicely in and out of the keepers. It doesn't tend to get stuck, so it slips nicely. This strap tapers 20 to 16, which is characteristic of the Tropics. And again, you have plenty of adjustment holes for any wrist size. And, you know, some people who don't like all the tail overhanging, they just snip the end off. So that's another thing you can do. Buckle is very high quality, nice and smooth. There you can see, made in Italy. And, yeah, this is the classic. Now, retail price on the Tropics, they run for about $79. Give or take who the retailers are, but you're looking at about $80 for a Tropic strap. Like I said, I like Tropics. My only issue is the way these fit on the lugs. And if I compare it to the Anchorflex, which is a very similar looking design, they've done a much better job here with the end of the strap, how it fits in the lugs. If I bend this over, well, it won't even bend over too far. Let me get the camera to focus. You can see what I'm talking about with that shape. So that's something to be aware of with the Tropic straps. And again, a lot will depend on the type of watch. This is a relatively short lug, so you can see that's why it's binding. If you put it on a watch with longer lugs, for example, this OWC, which has very long lugs, I don't think you'd have any issues with it binding. But yeah, it does tend to bind a little. But yeah, that's a classic Tropic strap. They come in a whole wide variety of colors, very flexible, very thin. No quick release bars available on these. These are all bring your own. I believe you can get up to about a 2mm bar in this. I have not tried a Seiko fat bar. This has a 2mm bar in this watch, and I had no issues getting the 2mm bars in here. So, very good. I like the Tropics. Now, if we get into, well, we're on the heavyweights, the classic. Let's take a look at this Isofrane. Now, this is sort of the gold standard in dive watch straps. Isofrane have been around for a long time. They're also owned by the Synchron Group, which is the same company that's brought us Tropic. Isofrane, they typically retail for about $140. So these are not inexpensive straps. The material of these is 100% isoprene rubber. So it's a little different type of chemistry. Again, it's a synthetic rubber, but you can see here there is, again, no memory recall. The strap lies perfectly straight. Isofrane straps run long, so the long end here is 130 millimeters and the short end is 75. So these will easily fit wrists over 8 inches. These are very heavy-duty straps, and you can see how thick this is. They run, starts at around 5.5 millimeters and tapers down to about a 3. So these are thick, heavy-duty straps. Now, they do not have quick-release spring bars. All the Isofranes are bring-your-own spring bars. Surprisingly, for a hardcore dive strap, I have a hard time fitting a 2.5mm Seiko Fatboy bar in here. Now this is a Seiko dive watch, and the standard spring bars are the 2.5s. I got them in, but it's really a tight fit. 2mm bars fit perfectly in here, but if you're going to put in your 2.5mm Seiko bars, be prepared to either have to lube them up with a bit of soap and try to get them in there. They're tight, but once you get it in there, this thing is rock solid. It's not going anywhere. Now, these are really hardcore dive straps. I would not say it is a comfortable strap for daily wear. These are bulky and they're thick. And you can really tell these are straps that are made to go over a wetsuit for scuba diving. Great straps for water sports. You can see the rubber is a little bit sticky. When I try to slide this into the keepers here, I do have to wrestle with it. So it is sticky, and it's, you know, it adds a lot of bulk. If I want to measure this here, let's see, it's probably 12, well, 11 millimeters. So yeah, well, almost 12. So it does add quite a bit of bulk to your wrist. 12 millimeters plus the thickness of your watch. And you can see how this is just a thick, heavy-duty strap. Buckle is very heavy-duty. It's drilled, very sturdy pin in here. It's a strong buckle. And you have plenty of adjustment. Let's see. Again, I'm struggling with a sticky rubber to get it out. Very nice buckle. It's very solid. Nothing creaks. It's very solid. But again, I would say this is not, at least for me, this is not my choice for a daily wear strap. These are great for water sports, water activities, swimming, diving, snorkeling. But daily wear, they are uncomfortable, and they're long. I shouldn't say they're uncomfortable. They're big and bulky. This is definitely not a strap you want to put on a thin watch like the Sanjin. This is a quartz watch, but you know, I couldn't. It would just be stupid to put this heavy strap on a thin watch. So this is really great for your thick, heavy watches, or your, you know, heavy military combat watches like a Marathon. This would be a great strap choice. And of course, some of your Seiko divers. But yeah, I think Isofrane, they're still the gold standard. There are lots of copies of these out there. I mean, I've bought some cheap ones like from StrapHabbit and Straps Co. that are like 30, 40 bucks, and honestly, they look the same, but the material is just rubbish. The material these are made out of is just phenomenal, and I think that's where the money is going. You're paying for this very high quality isoprene rubber. So if you're into hardcore dive sports, this is definitely the strap to go. Now that I've mentioned StrapHabbit and Straps Co., let's go ahead and look at the cheapest strap here in the collection. Now, this is a relatively new strap. In fact, I bought this specifically for the purpose of doing this review. I picked this one up on Amazon. I think it was around $40. I haven't had it that long, but these are, they're made in the Far East, and I think this strap, there are various companies who are selling variations of it. This one is, as I said, from StrapHabbit, but it looks to me like Straps Co. have a similar one. There are quite a few vendors on eBay selling these as well. So I think there's probably a big factory out in China pumping these things out. As I say, this is a $40 strap. They call it a sailcloth effect. It looks like some kind of a nylon fabric they have bonded and stitched to the rubber. Now, these are claimed to be pure FKM rubber, and it certainly does feel like it. I do not detect that it has any kind of silicone in it. It's a nice looking strap, to be honest. I like the sizing on this. This is a 20 millimeter strap. It tapers down to 18. I believe they have these in two sizes, 20 and 22 millimeter. There is an issue though with spring bars. Now, you'll notice this strap has the holes for the quick release bars, and I removed them right away because when I first put this strap on, and this watch, I bought this strap specifically for the Synchron military. I thought this would complement the watch well. And when I put it on, I was shocked at how crappy the spring bars are. And I'll show you the spring bar here. This is the quick release spring bar I pulled out of it. If I can get the camera to focus. Yeah, there you go. So there's your quick release spring bar. It is very thin and janky. Now, I measured this spring bar with my calipers, and it came in at 1.4, between 1.35 and 1.4 millimeter diameter with a 0.6 tip. Now, your standard spring bars are typically a 1.8 with a 0.8 or 0.7 millimeter tip. You can see this is just absolute rubbish spring bars. So, yeah, it's a $40 strap, but you know, they could have spent an extra $1 and put some decent spring bars in there, because this thing is just garbage. I mean, it rattled around. It was even loose in the strap. It just kind of rattled around. So I pulled it out. I've put in a high quality 2 millimeter Swiss made spring bar in here. And I had no issues sliding that 2 millimeter bar in here. Now this is a heavy watch, and I've normally used either 2 or 2.5 millimeter bars on it. But yeah, I mean, for $40, if you don't mind pulling the bars out and putting your own bars in, it's okay. The buckle is actually quite nicely finished. It's a black DLC finish. It's drilled and pinned, and you have some rubber keepers on here that are actually a little undersized, I think. They've tried to keep the thickness down, but you'll see if I try to put this in, I struggle slipping this into the keepers. And they're sticky. You can see it's... Once you get it in there, it's okay, but it's very tight. I mean, there is absolutely no play in there. If I measure the thickness here at the keepers, it's coming in just around 9. Profile is pretty nice. This is a little bit of a stiffer material, so you can see there's not the same amount of flexibility in this as the more premium straps. That out. I would also have to say some of the stitching is a little bit sloppy. You can see here they've dropped, some of the stitches have dropped, and I think here you can see some of the stitching's a little bit crooked. So yeah, I mean, it's not the highest quality strap, but for $40, I guess it's okay. Flexibility is nice, and you certainly have plenty of adjustment here. Longevity of this strap, I don't know how well it'll hold up. Time will tell. Like I said, this is a very new strap. I just bought it, and I just picked this up for the review because I wanted to have a low end or a lower price strap sort of compared to these other ones that I'm benchmarking against. So, you know, for $40, I think it's okay. I like the look of it, but yeah, the quality, well, it is, you know, it's a $40 strap. Need I say more? Next up, we're going to jump in price here quite a bit. This is a Hirsch Arne sailcloth strap. Now, Hirsch is an Austrian company. I've paired this on a Sanjin. This is a quartz watch, Sanjin Overlord, or their Dark Overlord, I should say. These are lovely straps. I'm a big fan of these Hirsch Arne straps. Very soft and flexible. Now, the Hirsch straps are natural caoutchouc rubber, and they have used a recycled PET, polyethylene, material on the covers. It is fully stitched, so it gives you a sailcloth look, but you have that natural rubber base. The straps are very well ventilated. As you can see, lots of holes here, so it ventilates well, and very, very flexible. I love the shape, how these straps, because they are perforated, they just contour to your wrist beautifully. And I also have to compliment Hirsch for their buckles, because I think Hirsch have one of the best buckle designs going. They are so smooth, just lovely, lovely buckles. Now, you can, of course, change out these buckles. This one is the black DLC, and it is, of course, drilled, but very nice, and you can see how this strap just shapes beautifully. These straps are fantastic on your lighter weight watches, but they surprisingly do well even with a heavy watch. I have used this Hirsch Arne strap on this big Synchron, which is a heavy beast, and on the Seiko, and it does very well on those watches as well. So it does actually control them. I like these Hirsch straps. As I said, these are not cheap. They're running typically about $100 to $150. I think in the US you're paying about $150. You can find them in Europe for around $100. The other thing with Hirsch, what I like, is that they have two different lengths available. They have a standard length, which is a 80 millimeter short end and 120 long end, which for me, for my 7.5 inch wrist, this is my favorite size combination, the 80-120. When I have a watch strap that's 80-120, I always will have the buckle just slightly towards the 6 o'clock position, and I just find that's, for me, that's the ideal length. Now, they do offer a shorter length as well, 110 and 70, and widths, they have these available in 18, 20, and 22 millimeters. This strap tapers 20 down to 18, so for me, it's an ideal size strap. I like it. It is a little squeaky. I don't know if you can hear that. Not quite sure why. It could be that it's maybe a little bit too big for the watch lugs. I haven't actually measured the lugs of the watch. Hirsch integrated quick release spring bars. These are excellent spring bars. I have had a lot of experience with Hirsch straps, and they have very good quality spring bars. So no issues keeping the spring bars in here. You can actually pull them out and replace them with larger diameter bars. I believe these are standard 1.8 bars, but I have put 2 millimeter bars in Hirsch straps without any issues. But you can see they're solid, no issues at all. So yeah, that is the Hirsch Arne. Very nice strap. Again, this is, well, it's the second most expensive strap in the lineup, following the Artem, and then closely followed up with the Isofrane, but very good straps for the money. So, Hirsch Arne. All right, second last one. This is another newcomer to my collection, and I gotta say, this is a strap that has probably impressed me the most. This is from DiveCore. Now, DiveCore is a small US brand. I'm not sure where they're manufacturing these straps, but this is their DiveCore HP Professional. They charge $60 for this. It is pure FKM rubber. And I've got to say, I have been really impressed with the quality of this. I would compare this strap to Isofrane all day, every day. Design is, I mean, you've got a long strap here. The length, I believe, is 127 on the long end and 80 on the short end. So very similar dimensions to Isofrane. What sets this strap apart is the suppleness of this rubber. This is pure FKM, but my God, it is so soft, and it also has some stretch to it. Very, very much like the Anchor strap. So, and then you've got this accordion style on here, which also give you some stretch and expansion. And I've got to say, these are really damn comfortable straps. I've been very impressed with it. Quick release spring bars are fitted standard on these, and what DiveCore has done, which is really neat, you can see how they've notched it. They've actually pre-installed 2.5mm spring bars in here, and you can remove them. You can just slide it out very easily and put your own bars or use screw bars. But I gotta tell you, I was really shocked at how good these spring bars are. These are super high quality spring bars, and they are solid. So I take my hat off to DiveCore. I think they have really come up with a tremendous product here. I love how these feel. Another nice thing what DiveCore has done, you've got a very similar style buckle to the Isofrane, big tang on it. But you have a little notch here to hold the keeper. So when I just slip this in here, we can slide first keeper on. And this notch, you can see there's a little pin in here. That just locks right in. And look how neat that is. It keeps your strap very tidy. And it's pretty well. It's coming in at 10.5mm. But the buckle is very nicely shaped. Works perfectly with a strap. So yeah, I'm really impressed. And like I said, these are $60. I think this represents a tremendous value. So for a newcomer brand, I'm really, really impressed with these DiveCore straps. This is my first one, but I can tell you it's definitely not going to be my last. I see some more of these in my future. This is the only watch I've tried it on to date. And I specifically got this yellow for the Poseidon. Now, funny enough, I do have, as I mentioned, this Poseidon came with that yellow Tropic strap, and I found that Tropic was just too thin for this watch. This is quite a heavy watch. So I went and bought a yellow Isofrane strap, and I've been wearing this watch on the Isofrane for quite a while, until I found this yellow DiveCore, and I thought, wow, let me try that. And man, I tell you, this thing is much more comfortable as a daily wearer than the Isofrane strap. So if you're on the fence between these two, I would say for half the price, I would definitely go with the DiveCore over the Isofrane any day. Now, they've only got limited colorways available, I believe. They do not have any black hardware available yet. I would like to see them come out with some black DLC hardware. And I'm not sure on their sizing. I think they've only got 20, maybe 22. I'd have to look on their website. The strap is 4mm thick, tapers down to 2.5. But yeah, very impressive strap. Last but not least, out of this strap collection, I think we have this guy here. This is the CrafterBlue. Now, this is a fitted strap, obviously. Now this is their RX01. This is a fitted strap for 5-digit Rolexes. CrafterBlue, they come in price-wise at around $75 to $90. Their prices vary depending where you buy them. As I said, this is a fitted strap for a 5-digit Rolex. This is a homage watch, and the strap fits perfectly on here. These straps are made out of pure vulcanized FKM, and you can see, again, there is no memory. It's pretty stiff, actually, but flexibility is good. It's quite a thick strap. I believe it's 4.8 millimeters, and it tapers down to 3.5 here at the tang. The length on this strap, you have 75 millimeters on the short end and 125 or 120 on the long end. Lots of adjustment holes, so no issues getting a comfortable fit. And it tapers from 20 to 18 at the buckle. Buckle is very nice. It's all brushed, very solid, and again, drilled pin. CrafterBlue, I believe, is a Far East brand. I'm not sure where they're from. I think it's Hong Kong, but I could be mistaken. We'll just put this in here, see how this locks in. Now, the keepers are all floating, but yeah, you can see it's the buckle is pretty straight. They have not put any shape to the buckle, but it works. I kind of prefer this buckle design a little better because it tends to follow the natural curve. This is sort of similar to the Isofrane style buckle, just a straight buckle. But nice straps. These are quite flexible. I think for a fitted strap, it's okay. The keepers are a little bit bulky. If I measure them here, we're probably coming in around 12, well, 11. So not too bad. Yeah, nice strap from CrafterBlue. I know it's been a long video, and how do I summarize this? Well, this is tricky. Obviously, you've got a lot of different straps here and different styles of watch. I would say out of the Tropic style straps, if we look at the Tropic and the Anchorflex, given that they're both the same price, both around $70 to $80, I think the Anchorflex is a superior strap. I like how this feels. The sizing is a little better and it's a little more comfortable. So I'm going to give the nod on the Tropic style straps to the Anchorflex. If we look at the Isofrane style, the serious diver straps, I've got the two here, the original Isofrane and the DiveCore. I'm going to give the nod to the DiveCore. I think it is, for the money, hands down, a much better strap. And even if it was the same price, I would think it's probably a better strap than the Isofrane. I really like that DiveCore strap. So if we move on to the Sailcloth effect straps, now we've got the StrapHabbit, the Delugs, the Hirsch, and the Artem. So we've got 4 Sailcloth effect straps here, which are all rubber. Obviously, we have a wide variety in pricing, from $250 all the way down to $40. And then we've got 110 and 150. It's a tough choice here. I think in terms of sheer quality, the Artem is my favorite. And, you know, it's a lot more money, but you definitely see the quality and the feel of the strap. It's just far superior. And this is a fantastic strap on a heavy watch. In the mid-price range, the Delugs and the Hirsch, I like both of these. I think the Delugs are maybe a little more refined and dressy with that stitching, how they've done it, and the taper down to 16. I think this is a more dressy strap, and it's definitely well made. The Hirsch straps, I mean, these are just great all-around straps. And I don't think you can go wrong with the Hirsch straps. The $40 one, yeah, it's a $40 strap. Yeah, what can I say? It comes with shitty spring bars. How well it'll last, I don't know. It's a decent attempt. There are lots of these, like I said, different brands using this, obviously the same manufacturer. It's nowhere near in the same league as Delugs or Artem or Hirsch, but, you know, for a economical strap, yeah, it's okay. And then we have, with our our rubber straps here, we have the CrafterBlue and the Montreux. I really like these Montreux straps for the 45 bucks. I think these are just lovely, soft, supple straps. Not good for heavy watches. So yeah, to summarize it, you've got a wide variety of options out there. I would personally, I'm probably not going to invest money again in one of these StrapHabbit straps. Yeah, I think it's, for the money, it's okay, but I'm not going to buy any more of them. Isofrane, very nice straps, good quality, but they're not inexpensive. And honestly, I think you can do better on the market for less money. So I don't see myself buying any more Isofrane straps. I've got 3 of these right now. I've got a black one, a green one, and a yellow one. I'm probably going to sell off some of them because I just don't use them that much. I'll keep one if I do any serious water sports, but yeah, it's not the most versatile strap. So when we look as we're narrowing down the field here, oh, tough choices. I gotta say the Tropic strap. This is the original, and I know Tropic's got the name. They haven't really updated the strap, and there are some design issues the way the ends are done on them. Also that they don't offer quick release bars. The vulcanized material on these is good, but I find the sizing on these a little long. And honestly, I think there are better alternatives than the genuine Tropic straps for the money. So will I buy another Tropic? Yes, I will, simply because it is the original, and certain style of watches, these work really well for your vintage kind of divers. But I think you can do better. So we're narrowing the field down here. CrafterBlue. Yeah, this is the only fitted rubber strap I have. For me, it's a nice strap. It feels good, and it certainly is well designed for the Rolex case. I don't really the material somehow feels a little, I don't know, inexpensive, maybe that's the word. Now, I understand it's vulcanized rubber, so it has been heat treated and it's kind of hardened and stiffened, and no doubt this is going to be a very durable strap and it'll probably last a long time, but it almost feels a little bit plasticky to me. I don't see myself buying another one of these, so that one's out of the picture. And then there were 6, so we're narrowing it down. There's not going to be a clear winner here. Let me just get that right out of the way, because we're getting into some really, all of these are really excellent straps. I think in terms of the pricing, this Montreux for the price is awesome value. I really like how these wear. I think my clear favorite for the price is going to come down between these two, and these are the new kids on the block. They're both, $60 to $70 price range. I think DiveCore has really come out with a beautifully designed product, and I like the feel of it. And I like the feel of this Anchorflex strap too. These both have some elasticity in them, which adds to their comfort. And I think these two companies have really sweated out the details. And it's just all the small things that they've done to the straps. For the price, I think these offer outstanding value. So with that said, I'm probably going to put the Montreux to the side. This is a good strap, very simple. There's nothing advanced about it. You know, it's a good strap for the money, and I would not hesitate to recommend it. It's not exceptional, though. Now, we're going to have to make some tough choices here. And I got to put these two aside, because I think these two are definitely contenders. The Delugs strap, I have mixed feelings on it. Very nice fit and finish. I think they're beautiful straps, beautifully made. I don't like how it's wearing. And, you know, the buckle on here, like I said, I had to replace the buckle. The standard buckle it came with, I found it quite an awful design. It was kind of a hook, strange hook shape. I didn't care for the buckle at all. But the strap is very nice. There is some different densities. It's almost like it's padded here. It's like they've used a stiffer rubber compound to make it look padded, and then here it's very soft and flexible, and here it's stiff. It's comfortable on the wrist, and with a new buckle on it, it's great. And like I said, I think the quality is very good. I can see myself buying some more of these, but for right now, is it one of my favorites? Probably. I'm gonna put it off to the side. So here we are, down to the last four. Oh, tough. If we look at the two sailcloth straps between the Hirsch and the Artem, this is tough because the Artem is, you know, it's a much more expensive strap, and the Hirsch is about $100 cheaper, $150 cheaper, depending where you buy it. I like Hirsch, and they do a good strap, and I think you can't go wrong for the money. I own a lot of Hirsch straps. Mostly they're hybrid straps that are leather and rubber. Very good straps. I cannot say anything bad about it. I think for its application, this is an ideal strap on a thinner dive watch, but when I look at these Sailcloth Effect straps, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, and we're already getting into $150 here, I'm going to up the ante and go with the Artem. I mean, these Artem straps, say what you want about the pricing, and yeah, I know they're not cheap. It's a $250 strap, but man, these things are nice. These are just, the material, whatever Artem has done with this compound, these are just beautiful straps to wear. They are just so comfortable. The only shortcoming on this strap, and I say shortcoming, is the length, because it could be a little longer. I think if they did 80 and 120, it would be a perfect strap. The 75 and 115, it does run a little short. And like I said, it's not a problem when you put it on a longer lug length watch, but you know, in terms of quality, man, you can't beat these. Now, I have intentionally not included the Artem Hydroflex loopless deployant straps in this review. I have them, and you can watch some of my other videos on the channel where I've reviewed some of the Artem Hydroflex loopless straps. They are wonderful, but again, you're getting up even into higher prices. But I wanted to do this comparison with the tang buckle straps. So these are my three favorite choices right here, and this is where I'm going to leave it, because we've got three different style straps. Although they're all rubber, we have the sailcloth, we have the Tropic style FKM, and then we have the classic diver style. And I gotta hand it both of these three companies, and these are all smaller brands. Artem is a small Australian brand. Anchor US-based, and DiveCore US-based. I think both of these three companies have really done their homework. They're catering to different markets. Obviously, Artem is going under the high-end market. I think DiveCore and Anchor coming in at the the sub $100 price point, they're offering some fantastic straps for the money. And I've got to hand it to the new kids on the block here. I think all three of these brands, I've really come up with some fantastic products. Yeah, I mean, the established names like Isofrane and Tropic, of course, they've been around the block for decades. But I think they've been superseded by some of the newer competitors who've invested some money. Now, to the best of my knowledge, these straps are all exclusive to these brands. I don't see anybody else making straps with these sort of materials. So whatever exclusive rights they have with a manufacturer, and I don't pretend to know where they're all made, although I'm going to assume it's probably in the Far East. I think these three brands are really going to be my choice going forward. So there you go. I hope you guys thought this was interesting. I'm sorry it was a bit of a long video, but 10 different straps from 10 different brands, that's a lot of stuff to get through. But I hope you appreciated this. Please remember, my video was not sponsored. I've not been compensated for this. These have been all my own watches and my own straps paid for with my own money. So there was not any commercial involvement here. And I hope you can understand that, this is just straps that I own. I've not, I know there are a lot of other different brands out there, so there's no shortage of options when it comes to rubber straps. And, this is hopefully just to help you with your buying decisions. If you guys enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the support, and I'd love to hear your comments. So with that said, I will bid you all a farewell until next week when I'll put out another review, probably do a watch review. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. So stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.